Hello everyone, and welcome to Kernel of Wisdom's Mindful Moments. I'm Joelle, and today we're going to talk about why it's important to get familiar with your feelings. Here's birdies. Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. Feelings. For some reason, we all have them, and yet we all think we're crazy for having them, and we all hate to talk about them. Over the next few months, we'll be doing a few videos to help you trust yourself better, but it means we have to start by talking about our feelings. Why? Because our feelings are our best teachers. They're there to help you understand what's important to you and what you actually need for your emotional well-being. Okay, well, let me start by sharing a thought with you. You have never, ever, in the history of your life, ever had a feeling that is wrong. Ever. For example, let's say you get in an argument and you feel disrespected. That's a fact. You actually do feel disrespected. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are being disrespected, but you do feel that way, and that's important too. Okay, then why do we all spend so much time struggling with our feelings, or trying to change them, or trying to fix them, or trying to get rid of them? Well, let's break it down a little. First, what's the difference between a feeling and an emotion? The dictionary definition of a feeling is a physical sensation not connected with sight, hearing, taste, or smell. A feeling is a physical sensation connected with an emotion. Okay, so then what's an emotion? Well, the dictionary definition of an emotion is an affective state of consciousness in which joy, sorrow, fear, hate, or the like is experienced and distinguished from cognitive and volitional states of consciousness. So an emotion is a state of consciousness that is separate from your thinking or volition. Volition being free will or choice. So an emotion isn't something that you have any free will over. It is an involuntary reaction, an involuntary state of consciousness that manifests itself in your physical body as a feeling. Well, that's pretty important. Somewhere along the line, people seem to get the idea that they are able to control their feelings or emotions. And while we may be able to manage how we react to our feelings and emotions, feeling them is absolutely okay and normal. So why do we have feelings or emotions? Well, they are internal teaching tools. They are there to show us something about what we need at an emotional level. Unfortunately, we all fall into the trap of reacting to our emotions far too quickly. We instantly want to get rid of our bad emotions or become desperate to hold on to the good emotions, and we end up either averse or attached to our emotions, rather than being able to sit with them, fully feel them, listen to them, and learn from what it is they're trying to teach us so that we can actually respond to our emotional needs rather than react to the emotion itself. But when we experience a feeling or an emotion that we've deemed unacceptable, where we've been made to feel shame in the past for feeling that way, or where we learned as a child that it's wrong to feel that way, those feelings and emotions we become very resistant to. We try to get rid of them as quickly as possible. And in these instances, we immediately turn on ourselves. We tell ourselves that we are bad or wrong for feeling that way, and essentially we abandon ourselves instead of being there for ourselves, instead of being able to just sit with ourselves and the way we feel in that moment and learn from whatever it is it's trying to show us. And so we tend to miss whatever lesson that emotion was trying to teach us. Eventually, we start to distrust our feelings, we don't trust our judgment, and we definitely don't trust our own ability to take care of our own emotional needs. Okay, so let's use an example. Let's say when you're in romantic relationships, you tend to feel quite a bit of jealousy. But when you were younger, you learned that it was bad to feel that way, and you feel like a bad person for feeling it. As a result, you become very resistant to feeling jealousy. So whenever it comes up, you want to get rid of it right away. You hate it being there. And so you start to make irrational assumptions, you escape the situation, or you lash out at your partner and start to become very angry with them, saying that they have made you feel that way. People in the past have left you and said that it was because of your jealousy, that you were just too jealous and they couldn't handle it. Instead of learning from the emotion and accepting that there is some sort of value or belief or need that you have there that's not being met, you decide that it's better to suppress your jealousy. That you're going to try and resist it even further by not showing it even if you feel it. So this becomes your way of fixing your jealousy problem, even though what you're really doing is making yourself even more resistant to the feeling, and you're still not addressing the emotional need. The next relationship you're in, when jealousy inevitably comes up and you try your best not to show it, it comes out in other ways. You start to become resentful of your partner and silently start to become more and more angry with them. You start to lash out at them and get mad at them for reasons even you don't understand, are reasons that aren't jealousy but are manifesting itself in all these other confusing ways. And worst of all, you don't even like who you are in this relationship. You no longer feel like you're able to express yourself. You're not feeling fulfilled and happy. You don't even feel like you're able to fix yourself. You feel like everything keeps getting worse, that you're becoming a bigger and bigger failure for all these emotions that you have that you're not able to control. Now, using the same example, what do you think would happen if you actually allowed yourself to just fully feel the jealousy without having to react to it right away? What if you took the time to meditate on that emotion or be mindful to it, allowing yourself to feel how it feels and learn from whatever it is it's trying to teach you? Often we become really worried that our feelings are going to overwhelm us, that we're not going to be able to handle them. And what might surprise you is if you actually just sit with the emotion, you'd find you can handle it quite well. From there, you might actually be able to notice what it is that your emotion is trying to teach you. You might be able to actually start to feel what it is that you're actually craving, what's underneath the emotion, what's being triggered, and that emotion is trying to show you. What that jealousy might actually show you is that what you are in fact craving is a relationship with a deep sense of security, with reassurances of love and deep commitment. And so perhaps you can go to your partner and talk to them about that, and maybe they'd be more than happy to show you that they love you even more. Or maybe you learn that they aren't interested in a relationship at that level, and you can actually move on and find a relationship that does address those emotional needs. Or maybe you learn from your jealousy that you don't feel particularly confident, that you've neglected your hobbies, the things that you love, the things that make you feel like you're great at something. And so maybe your jealousy is actually trying to motivate you to kick yourself into gear, to be more who you are, so you don't have to worry about anybody else because you feel great about you. In either scenario, all the drama and conflict that came from resisting your emotions, from trying to make yourself wrong for them, from all that internal conflict and struggle that you had around feeling them, is gone, and you're able to just effectively and authentically deal with what you actually need. You're able to be who you actually are. And that allows yourself to trust yourself so much further because you know that you're able to take care of your own emotional well-being. Now, we've talked a bunch about negative feelings, but I do want to take a moment to talk about positive feelings, because here we tend to have the opposite problem, where with negative feelings we become resistant to them or averse to them. With positive feelings we become very attached to them. And if those good feelings fade, as emotions do, and we'll talk about that in another episode, we feel like failures for not being able to keep them going all the time. And it becomes exhausting, and again we feel like it's not working, and we start to turn on ourselves. We're being unable to keep the good feelings going constantly. I'd encourage you all to be gentle with yourself. Know that good feelings come and go just as bad feelings do. and that you just need to be open to learning from those emotions and what the good is trying to show you and what it's trying to guide you toward, in order to really learn from those ones as well. In any case, whether they are positive emotions or negative ones, I hope that this video and these scenarios have helped you understand why just being with your feelings and actually listening to them is so crucial to you being able to trust yourself. If you have trouble actually just sitting with your feelings and fully feeling them, we do have a guided meditation that can walk you through it and help you out right here if you want to give it a click. Otherwise, just continue to practice it in your day-to-day life. Notice when you're resistant or too desperately attracted to your feelings, and take time to really listen to them as much as you can. It has been great working with you and talking with you today. If you have any comments or questions, post them in the comment box below. And otherwise, happy meditating. Bye.